Hello everybody. This is going to be a different video than I'm used to, mainly because it's a commentary video. So yeah. We're going to be talking about this guy named Ryan Pictures. He's a relatively small creator. As you can see, he's not even at 200,000 subs yet, but his particular style of video, in some cases, like some of these videos, just rubs me the wrong way. And I really want to see a discussion around this because it's just disturbing. And I'll explain why later. But firstly, I want to introduce him. He's what I'd call a Sunny V2 clone. Now, a Sunny V2 clone, for those of y'all who do not know, is a YouTuber who posts these like highly edited 10 to 15 minute documentaries, either detailing the rise and fall of a person, a dramatic downfall of a person on YouTube, or finally recapping every single small little thing that Moist Critical does for 15 minutes and then putting it on the internet. And they normally get millions of views because it's really easy to eat up that type of content. As you can see, this guy wants he by his admission, documentary videos, okay? So Sunny V2 clone I think is pretty accurate here. However, he differs from them, and it's not immediately obvious how he differs. Okay? You see his videos, it looks like normal Sunny V2 stuff. Shout out to this thumbnail in particular. I love the halos, the devil horns, and then Illuminati, who's just a triangle with no devil horns. Incredible. Anyways, you have to look at the popular tab to see what I really mean. 7 sinful versus 7 heavenly YouTubers. 7 sinful versus 7 heavenly streamers. 7 heavenly virtues as YouTubers. And I just don't think it's wise of us to unilaterally call somebody a sin or a virtue. So to help us out, we have the Wikipedia page for the 7 virtues. Because he did actually call 2 of them kindness and none of them humility. Wait, no, that wasn't it. 2 of them kindness and none of them patience. But anyways, to remind myself of just how I felt about these, because I had this idea like, basically when I first saw this video, I had the idea to make this video. But now that I'm actually doing it, I had to watch this one to remember why I took such an issue with it. And I'm going to show you the first minute or so of this video. And I think it's going to exemplify my points here. So please don't copyright strike me, please.
Clear of health.
Okay.
There's 7 specific YouTubers who perfectly represent the 7 deadly sins of greed, lust, gluttony, pride, envy, wrath, and sloth. However, if you flip these upside down, you'll find another set of 7 YouTubers who represent the exact opposite, the 7 heavenly virtues. My name's
So like right there, he straight up said there are 7 YouTubers who embody a deadly sin, and there are, on the flip side, 7 YouTubers that embody a heavenly virtue. Which is just a terrifying statement to me, that we can just call YouTubers heavenly and sinful. This is why I want a discussion, because I might just be going crazy here, but this terrifies me that we're just out here calling people deadly sins.
Ryan. We'll be comparing YouTubers who represent the 7 deadly sins and their corresponding heavenly virtues, starting with gluttony versus temperance.
So this is how his content works, this style of content. he gives the Google definition of the sin or the virtue, and then he explains why the YouTubers he has chosen are sinful or virtuous.
The sin of gluttony is described as excess eating or drinking, which best describes Nikocado Avocado, a popular mukbang YouTuber. On the other hand, the virtue of temperance is often characterized as emotional restraint or self-discipline, which is best exemplified by the YouTuber Matt Stoney. Both Nikocado and Matt are seen to eat thousands of calories in a single sitting, but the difference in their weight is night and day. One is viewed as a 130-pound respectable guy, while the other, a 350-pound gelatinous behemoth. So,
okay, now when I saw this, I was like, oh my god. I could not have picked a better video to watch to really drive in what I was originally thinking when I first started watching these, which is, this is insane. Because let's process what this man just said. This guy, Matt Stoney, I'm sure he's a great dude, but the reason why he's temperance is because he's 130 pounds and a respectable guy. And the reason why Nikocado Avocado is gluttonous is because he's 350 pounds and a, quote, gelatinous behemoth. This is actually just fat shaming. Like, now he goes on to explain more on Nikocado eats junk food and doesn't exercise. And meanwhile, this guy is shown to eat a salad and he exercises. And therefore, Nikocado is the king of gluttony, and this guy takes the title for temperance or whatever. But I was just in shock when I was watching this. I was like, okay, but this is just fat shaming. And we're out here calling Nikocado Avocado a deadly sin because he's fat and he doesn't exercise. You can't see me right now, but I am losing my mind. And I'm sure Matt Stoney is a great guy. I know he's a competitive eater from this video, but I don't know anything else about him. But how are you just gonna say this guy is a heavenly virtue because he exercises and eats food that's not junk food? Like, they both do mukbang challenge videos, which is why they're like foils to each other. Whatever. So I'm not gonna watch any more of that because, like I said, not trying to get copyright struck here. So I will quickly go through the other ones. Let's go back to here to help me. Okay, so next up was humility versus pride, and that was Moist Critical, Charlie, of course. Can't have a Sunny V2 clone without Charlie in it. And then the pride guy was Sneeko, because Sneeko gets mad when he's called out, so he's prideful. And then Moist Critical told embarrassing stories about himself, so he's the most humble person on the internet. This brings up a secondary issue. The way these are so tenuous. Like, some of these strings are just, the lines of reasoning are so thin that they're like it's like trying to use those Kraft macaroni straws to hold together like, imagine you've got a dumbbell made with like two pieces of paper crumpled up, and the thing connecting them is one of those Kraft straws that need water and like whatever else to become mac and cheese. Yeah, that's what the line of reasoning is here. It's just crazy. And then we're like, okay. Next up is chastity and lust. And for lust, you've got EDP, 445. I'm not going to explain who that is, but if you know, you know. So he is lust. Okay, fine, we'll give you lust. I still don't like calling people deadly sins, but if you were going to do that, EDP being lust is pretty accurate. But for chastity, he picks PewDiePie. And then the reason PewDiePie has chasteness is because he's in a loving relationship with his wife. That's literally it. We are out here calling people heavenly sins because they have a good relationship with their wife, or because they tell embarrassing stories on the internet, or because they eat a salad. So that was the next one. And then next up was, which one was next? It was patience and wrath, except he put kindness. It was meant to be patience. And so that one is Corey X Kenshin for kindness. We'll say kindness to give him like the steel man because it's supposed to be patience, but whatever. And then he's like, well, he advocates for mental health and against racism on the YouTube platform. Kindness. And then for wrath, we have the vegan teacher. And they have all the bad things the vegan teacher has done. And I just don't see that much of an emotional difference from calling the vegan teacher the deadly sin of wrath. In his own words, quote, like, a wrathful person. I don't see too much of a difference between that and the vegan teacher calling Gordon Ramsay the devil. I mean, obviously, one of them can be defensible. The vegan, you can say the vegan teacher is a wrathful person, and it's a lot less defensible to call Gordon Ramsay the devil. But I still don't like the precedent this sets that we could just call people deadly sins, and if we can have reasons as bare bones as PewDiePie has a loving wife, therefore he embodies chastity, then we could totally have that on the sin side as well. And I don't think that's a good thing. So next up was like charity and avarice, which is greed. That was Mr. Beast versus Logan Paul. Okay, whatever. Diligence versus sloth. It was funny because they mentioned CoffeeZilla exposing CryptoZoo. And then the next one, which was Diligence versus Sloth, they have Sniper Wolf as Sloth because she does lazy reaction content and therefore embodies the deadly sin of sloth. And then we have CoffeeZilla as Diligence because he does exposés of people. And then finally, we left off on kindness versus envy. And envy was Russian Mr. Beast, you know, the guy who was ripping from Mr. Beast, and a bunch of art creators. And then for kindness, who was that guy? Give me a second. Kindness. Markiplier. That's right, it was Markiplier. I don't even remember why he said Markiplier was kindness. Other than he uses his platform to lift people up. So, anyways, we've gone through the video. You can watch it if you want. I won't be linking it, but or the channel, but you can go and find it if you want to, you know, fact check me and get your own opinion on this. But I'll leave you guys with this important takeaway that I'm getting from this, which is why are we calling people heavenly virtues, and why are we calling them deadly sins? It just feels weird. And also, it seems that some of these people just get called virtuous or sinful just because the creator likes them. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's feeling like. For example, I know I'm bringing up the PewDiePie chastity one a lot, but I think we'll go to the Corey X Kenshin one too, because that's, patience. And it's like, well, he advocates for mental health and I don't know, what was it? Mental health and then racism he advocates against racism. And so that makes him the virtuous kindness. I think the weirder one, because like I can see a lot of these, the gluttony one for Nikocado was just very poorly done, I think, because it came off as fat shaming, especially. Because genuinely, the only difference the video puts up between Nikocado and the other guy, Matt Stoney, is that Nikocado is fat and doesn't take good care of his body and is therefore the sin of gluttony, while Matt Stoney is fit and takes good care of his body, therefore he is the virtue of temperance. Which is not great. I don't like that. I think that could have been handled better. And also, I think that if he keeps on this path of constantly finding new creators to call virtuous and sinful, that's going to end up where either one of his virtuous people is going to end up being exposed as a terrible person, or he's going to misfire and call somebody sinful that really doesn't deserve it. And it's going to make people feel some sort of moral superiority over them because, well, they're sinful and I'm not a deadly sin, but this person is a deadly sin. And so it's going to hurt somebody, is how I'm thinking it's going to end up. Now, he hasn't done this type of video in a while. I think this is the latest one, 7 Sinful versus 7 Heavenly YouTubers Part 2, where he's obviously going to call Kwebbelkop Sloth because he does AI content now. But I don't think he's done those type of videos in a month. But it does seem like it's about time that he's going to pull out another one. And so I really hope that more people start talking about how potentially really weird this is to put some YouTubers up on a pedestal for being virtuous for normal human things like taking care of yourself and having a loving wife and being kind. And then also put people on like this wall of shame for being fat and eating a lot of junk food. Or, honestly, Nikocado is like the only one of those that's like, you could have done better than this. All of the other ones have some serious skeletons in their closet. And so that's the one I'm talking about the most because it literally just felt like fat shaming. I didn't show the entire segment, so obviously go watch the segment for yourself. But it came off as fat shaming. And I don't want people to feel hurt because this guy called somebody sinful and basically ignored anything like Nikocado actually does. I know he's done worse than just be fat, but that's all he focused on was he was a 350-pound gelatinous behemoth. And it's like, stop. But anyways, I'm not trying to take this guy down. This is not an expose. This is just because I'm going mad, insane right now because nobody is talking about how weird it is to call people sins and virtues. All of the comments are super positive. It gets millions of views. It's some of his most popular videos. Number 2, number 3, number 6, with millions of views. And nobody's talking about it. And I just want to see somebody out there respond and be like, yeah, this is kind of weird. Or, no, this is actually a perfectly normal thing to do. And why are you being so weird about it? I just need somebody to talk to about this because I think it's weird. Anyways, comment down below your opinion. Uh, like the video or subscribe if you want more people to see this. And I'm going.